Welcome to Close the Door and Come Here, a Song of Ice and Fire podcast with heavy leanings towards our two favorite characters, Jaime and Brienne. Hey everyone, I am Guile, and today I'm joined by Chicky.
Hey, I am Chicky, and I am Chicky on Blue Sky.
And Kama.
Hi, I'm Kama, and I'm Kama Splice on Blue Sky.
And today we're going to be discussing Jon's 7th chapter in A Dance with Dragons. Spoiler warning for everything. But probably our only spoiler, or probably no, I don't think any particular trigger warnings for this one. So
what a
yay.
treat! What a treat in this book.
Yeah, it's really a treat in this book. So we start off this chapter with Allison Thor, our old friend, is Jon is assigning him to arranging Beyond the Wall. And Thorne's like, oh, you're trying to kill me because I'm an asshole. And Jon's like, actually, you're a ranger. This would really kind of be your job. And, Jon's thinking to himself, even like, I have assigned Dywyn, who knows the woods better than everyone. Like, he's honestly like, I feel like I'm, sending totally capable people. Like, you should be, as good as anyone. So he's kind of annoyed that like Thorne is trying to make this into some personal vendetta when it's more like just kind of business as usual for the Lord Commander.
Well, and I love how, because Alistair's been like in the Night's Watch for like 15 years at this point. Wasn't it after Robert's Rebellion that he got up there, and he's never had to go ranging? Like, what?
Well, because he's always been the master at arms, basically.
Right. Yeah. Because of classism, he just got dumped in there.
So, so they leave, and he's going down. I think he's going down to the wall, down to the bottom with Ed, and Ed's like, I had this terrible dream last night that you were my steward and I was the Lord Commander.
I love how Jon's like, yeah, so my life is your nightmare?
Yeah, he's like, your nightmare, my life. And, we hear a little bit like how Cotter Pike is reporting that there's just like a lot of increasing wildling activity along the coastlines. And, it gets like, they talk about they're just like, they're trying to just take rafts across the narrow sea even. So, this like horrible desperation to get out. And, there's still fires to the north and everything. And, all of his men on these other castles are like constantly asking him for more men. And, he's trying his best. And then he sends some more men that he can, dredge up from Mole Town, basically. And they're both like, yeah, we want like actually good people. These guys suck. And Jon's like, what do you, what can you possibly expect? So he's really kind of frustrated with that.
Well, and I don't blame him, because this is not news that there are not enough men in the Night's Watch. I mean, this is literally one of the first things that we hear at the beginning of a Game of Thrones, is that there are not enough men.
Yeah. So like they
know that.
Right. So they're just bitching, but it's like, I guess they feel like they have to ask. So, Jon is pretty frustrated, and we actually see him take out his frustration. He is watching some of the recruits being trained, and he kind of just, he wants to fight. He's annoyed. He's frustrated. He's going to try to do this in a healthy way and fight his recruits, but it's sexy because it's 3-on-1.
Jesus.
So, of course, two of them are twins, too, like Aaron and Emmerich, because in Westeros, you always have to name your twins names that are super close to each other.
God.
It's a rule. And Jace. So, he kind of beats up on Jace pretty quick, but Jace keeps coming back, which I think is funny. It's funny in the realm of, like, having to fight whites. Like, yeah, they should come back. And then eventually, he takes down the twins and everything, and, he's like stud Lord Commander, as one should be. And then Rattleshirt rolls in and kind of challenges him, and Jon's like, okay, this guy's a dick, but whatever. But he also was like, he seems taller and better.
I love that when he gets in the armor and clearly the glamour is not working as well anymore.
Yeah. Like, and he seems really good. And I mean, basically Rattleshirt is rattling him and, beating the shit out of him.
You can tell that Mance is just gleeful almost at this. Like, he's having the time of his life beating up Jon.
Yeah, he's totally beating up Jon, and eventually, like, they get rid of their swords and they're like basically wrestling, and he's on top of Jon, and he says, and loud enough so that the people who are watching this hear him clearly. He says, if I had a dagger, I would, end you. And they pull him off, and the other men kind of want to like punish him. Because like, he threatened you, blah, blah, blah. And Jon's like, he had a dagger on him. Like, if he meant it, he would have done it. Like, oh yeah, I guess. So,
Can I just interrupt here?
Yeah.
I feel, and I'm typing out for the episode description, I'm feeling like this is a fic, people. Somebody write this. This could be really hot sex.
Maybe someone did. We don't even know.
This is true. This is my job, and I'm failing. I should go see it.
In the fic, like, does the glamour like come off at some point? Because that would be like
in the middle of sex.
Yes, it'd be very interesting.
What everyone is watching, and they all realize that. I'm looking to see. Oh, there are Mance Rayder Jon Snow fics.
There have to be.
Only 10. Yeah. This is an opportunity, people.
Or if you wanted to do a heated rivalry kind of Game of Thrones style.
Well,
but I mean,
these are in foreign languages. The path is clear. Somebody go write some stuff.
But like, why would you do this when Jon and Satin exist too? I guess. Right. So Jon also gets a message, and the wax is bright pink, so he knows it's House Bolton.
I love how the ink is brown and flaky too.
Oh, gross! Like it's blood.
Blood. It's definitely blood.
Ugh. He's a fucking vampire. Like, I'm sorry.
He's not a vampire.
That is so dramatic. Nobody rating blood.
Yeah, but it's not from Roose. It's from Ramsay.
It's from Ramsay, yeah. And it's basically
I'll buy Ramsay as a vampire. I'll give you that.
It's like the note says Moat Callan is taken, and the corpses of the Iron Men have been nailed to posts along the road. And Roose Bolton is bringing everyone to Barrowtown to celebrate his son's wedding to Arya Stark.
And Jon tries to be normal about this.
Yeah, Jon very much tries to be normal. And, he thinks, like, just, she, no matter how afraid she is, she will not show it. If he tries to lay a hand on her, she'll fight him. So it's, obviously Ramsay had a reputation at this point that, Jon up at the wall knew about.
Yeah. I think everybody knows. Everybody knew. They weren't doing anything about it because, but they know.
What he did to Lady Hornwood is pretty well known. Right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah. And, Iron Emmett's like, your sister, she wants, it's like, oh, that's your sister. How old is she? And Jon's like, he thinks that, she's still a child. But, first of all, he actually had to kind of go through a, like, I thought she was dead kind of moment. Because I think he thought she was dead at King's Landing. But, he's also like, I don't have a sister. I only have brothers. That's what he says, So he is fully, like, talking the talk here.
Yeah, let's see how that bears up throughout this book.
Yeah. So, he's still, so this is a thing that happens to him. And, surprisingly, he's like, I'm going to go. It's, getting cold out, but he's like, I'm going to, I need to get some air. And so he finds a ghost, and he and Ghost go outside, and as he's just kind of thinking, Melisandre, well, actually, as he's thinking, he turns around and he sees Ygritte. And then
I had forgotten about this.
Yeah. And he even says her name. And then the voice that responds is Melisandre.
Yeah, so she's doing this on purpose, right? I mean, this is not just like out of the corner of his eye. This is like a full on. He really thinks it's her for a minute.
Yeah, this is her.
And he's like, "Oh, I thought you were someone else," which, that's cruel. And this is a scene where Melisandre is like really into she's weirdly into Ghost. Like I don't recall her ever like having any like relationship with him, but and Ghost is really into her. Like Ghost comes up to her, smells her hand. He's like leaning in for pets. I mean, he's all about Melisandre, and Jon obviously kind of notices oh, Ghost's eyes are like her, like they're.
Yeah, so is this, I don't remember paying as much attention to this before, but are we supposed to kind of infer here that R'hllor is perhaps an ally of whatever the old gods are? Is that what this is supposed to imply? That there's an allyship between R'hllor and whatever the Children of the Forest, etc., have going on because of this ghost affinity?
Or are they the same?
Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah. That's definitely how I took it. Like, yeah. So Melisandre is basically like, she's telling him there's a lot of power at the wall, and, you're resisting it, and that's like a problem. Like if you need to embrace your power and use it. And she kind of talks to him about shadows. And I think Jon is thinking somewhat literally. And, he's like, oh, my shadow is like 20 feet tall. And obviously I think we know what Melisandre is talking about.
Unfortunately, yes, we do know what Melisandre is talking about.
And I think she maybe gets that he's not quite there for that conversation. Although, God, I don't even know what that conversation would be. But she kind of wants to prove to him that she knows stuff. So she talks about how, he shouldn't worry about his sister because she's seen this vision of a girl on a dying horse coming to him. So, he's like, that kind of convinces him. He's like, she has power.
Well, this is what she does. She's very skilled at getting people to fall in line with her visions or her greater good or whatever the hell she's telling herself. And I mean, she's giving him kind of what he wants.
And
yeah, and I think that it's pretty. I feel like explicit. Frankly, she's trying to seduce him here. Yeah. I mean, I think that's why she initially tries this thing with the Ygritte presentation. Yeah. And her talking about the shadows is obviously her talking about making shadow babies. We know that. I think she's definitely trying to seduce him at this point, and you kind of have gotten this vibe before from her with him.
And, she tells him that he sent 9 men out to range and that they're all dead or, going to die shortly. And, basically, believe me, use me, and you'll see what you need to see.
I think she said only 3 of them.
Only 3 of them? Okay, I thought all of them were.
I think 3 of them. Whatever it is, it's like how she's like, well, you should have listened to me. And it's like, well, you didn't say anything before you sent them out.
Right, right. Exactly. Like, she's not, this is sort of like a annoyingly vague chapter in many ways, in that, like, I don't think there's no way for Jon at this point to understand, like, what she's asking of him or what she's really capable of, because he doesn't know about, Manson Rattleshirt. Like, he doesn't, like, I don't know, if she's wanting to prove her power and her usefulness to him, I don't know why she didn't choose this moment to reveal, or why George, I guess, didn't choose this chapter for the Rattleshirt reveal.
Because I think what her stock in trade, it's like she never sits down with the person and goes, hey, here's what I can do for you. Here's what R'hllor can do for you. It's all this vague bullshit. It's all there. Like, I think we're going to see in her, I think she's got a POV chapter coming up. I don't remember if we recorded it or not. But, like, or if we'll be recording it again. But, I mean, like, she's very much that character who, like you just said, like, why she didn't say anything before he sent the Rangers out. Well, it's sort of, a lot of smoke and mirrors with her, and I think she's trying to reel them in, and she's not going to do a real hard sell. It's all been this very gradual stuff.
But, like, how did she ever get Stannis acting like this?
Well, I think she got Stannis for a couple of reasons. The first of which is he's an uptight man who was probably not, he's married to Selyse. I think, the sex was clearly the big draw there. And I think because she was, Stannis needed something with power, and it was a tool, and he was willing to do whatever, whereas I think Jon is a little more cautious there. And I think maybe...
I just feel like she would have to be way more direct with Stannis.
Well, I mean, didn't she reel in Selyse first? Didn't she get to Selyse first, and that's how she got to Stannis?
She gets in with Selyse. Then half of that court is all, Selyse's relatives, who are now all in the cult. And then I think gradually, Stannis is at a point where he can act, and she's there. It's a different situation, I think. She really doesn't have an in right now. She's got these people running around, but I mean, it's not quite the same at the Wall.
Well, she seems to have this thing where she tries to prove that her prophecies will come true. I think she did this with Davos too, didn't she? Like, she tries to prove that she does have the power of foresight and prophecy, and that's clearly what she's trying to do with this, Arya like on a dying horse thing, and then it'll turn out not to be correct.
Right, of all her powers, the foresight one is like the worst.
Well, I mean, she does have foresight, but it's just like she doesn't really know what she's seeing. So,
yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, she sees fake Arya on a horse. She's just decided that's Arya.
Yeah.
Because it's convenient for her. Also, I mean, remember, Jon is a very different religion than whatever. Well, Stannis, I think, is an atheist, but like, it's a different. They're far south. They're closer to Essos. They're far south. More southern. It's maybe less of a leap in some respects. Whereas Jon is clearly, children of the forest, weirwood trees.
Yeah, Jon is more predisposed to the mystical aspect, I suppose.
I think it's got to be a different approach, which is what she's trying. But I don't think this is exactly what she did with Stannis.
Yeah. I think we did already record that Melisandre chapter, so I don't think we're going to do it again.
Well, I never remember.
I might need to go read it
the last time, so it'll be an adventure for me.
There you go. Who knows what happened? Who can remember that long ago?
I mean, she ends this chapter. She tells him, "Take my hand and let me save your sister." Which, I mean, she tries. Like, she's not a liar.
She does. I mean, I get why George says that Melisandre is probably the most misunderstood character in the books. I do get it.
Yeah. I would agree. I mean, I feel like I kind of agree with that. I mean, there's a segment of the fandom that fundamentally and purposefully misunderstands Jaime. But, like, other than that, Melisandre is, I think, definitely the one. Like, I don't think there's anything evil about her. I think
She does a lot of evil, but no, I don't think she has at all an evil intention. She does do a lot of evil things, but
she's one of those expedient kinds. Like, she uses, she twists things to do whatever, and I don't think she always thinks.
I think the thing about her that makes her most interesting is that she's not in this for herself. This is not personal ambition. That's not what this is, really.
Right, but I mean, I think to me, she's like a religious leader, right? Who's willing to, the ends justify the means. That's what she is.
Yeah, but a true believer, a true believer, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, again, like, you put her against Davos, and it's the same, the same question as given to Stannis, like, what's the price of one life for humanity, essentially.
Yeah.
And, you can have different answers to that.
And you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we have any questions on this chapter?
We do, and that is from Buck O'Hara on Discord asking.
God bless you, Buck O'Hara.
I know. Asking, when did you realize it was Mance? And I'm ashamed to say I don't remember.
I mean, I don't remember either.
I think I knew. I don't remember what it was that tipped me off, but I remembered thinking, well, why are we even talking about this? But honestly, I'll be honest with you, I was annoyed about it. I remain annoyed about it.
Oh, I'm glad that Mance is alive.
It's not that I'm mad that he's alive. I'm just like, this whole elaborate, why do we have to pretend? Like, we could have just kept him prisoner. Why do we have to do this Rattleshirt burning thing? And that just...
Well, was that to appease Stannis, right?
I don't know.
Oh,
because
Stannis.
In reality, it would be Mel who would be pushing to burn the king to get the king's blood, and yet she doesn't get it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm still not really clear on why we had to go through the Rattleshirt rigmarole. I think we could have ended up in the same place and skipped some of this.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like there should have been a question like, can you guys believe this is Jon's 7th fucking chapter? This book?
I will say it is kind of, as much as I enjoy the why Jon is a shitty manager, it's kind of nice to get back into a Jon, like, not having to do that stuff.
Yeah, I mean...
Entirety.
Jon's just doing the best. I mean, I honestly feel like he's doing the best he can here. I mean, things devolve, obviously, but...
I mean, it's their bad for making a 16-year-old their CEO, I feel like.
Yep, you get what you pay for.
Well, with no questions and a dog's bark. Okay. We might have to edit this part out.
Fitting. That's Ghost would love that. Silent Ghost would love that.
All right. If you'd like to ask us any questions, you can reach us at closethedoorand@gmail.com. Find us on Blue Sky or on the Jaime and Brienne subreddit. And you can support this podcast on Patreon. Help us with our hosting fees. Like, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And with that, I am closing the door. Get out.